Upgrades.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just got done seeing episode 9, A Test of Pride for Vox Machina season 2. I'm just going to jump right into it. And this episode, I think, leaves us on a giant cliffhanger. It builds us up, and it's starting to annoy me how every 3 episodes I know I'm going to get some emotional damage, and now I'm trying to figure out what in God's name is going to happen over here to Grog. So I guess just from the get-go, what did you think of this episode? What did you think of everything that's transpiring?
I want to point out that my predictions were correct, that this was going to be a largely flashback episode that gives us that backstory that ties Grog and Pike together, which was just really good storytelling. I liked it a lot. I also noted that like young Grog is about the same size as like weak Grog now. So like maybe he's not that weak. I mean, obviously he was like wielding axes and like taking out people before, but I don't know. We start the episode. The cold open is a raid on a small town, and we just see these Goliaths wrecking commoners. And amongst them is a young Grog, and like he's got this helmet on, so we don't really know it's him until like Kevdak, Grog's uncle, is like, you make the herd proud, make them fear the name Grog Strongjaw. And then you're like, oh snap, this brutal Goliath that we've been seeing with like these dual wielding hand axes just chopping dudes to hell is Grog Strongjaw. So that's when we go back, and Grog, Pike, and Scanlan are on the edge of Westruun, and they just see like just the town is completely in ruins, and they're trying to decide what to do next as they see these 2 Goliaths bringing this elf out, and he's like, I don't have any more money to give, I'm useless. And they're like, all right, well, if you're worthless, then you should go and pray that your luck gets better. And as he's walking away, I was like, oh, that guy's dead. and they play Boulder Parchment Shears, which is their rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
And then they just throw an axe at the guy's head and just take him out, which kind of just gives you a little bit of an insight as to just like, I guess, how trivial they consider life to be of other people. They're able to just like play a game of rock, paper, scissors over who gets to kill someone.
Yeah, it reminded me, like, especially that scene, almost like the dragons. Like, they come in, take over, and don't really care. It's like, are you giving me what I need? Nope. Okay, you're dead.
Yeah.
Only the dragons don't do paper, rock, scissors, which would be hilarious, seeing little dragon hands doing
the dragon club. I would love to see that.
But I think the coolest part here is during when we see young Grog kind of like destroying all these people, he runs into Pike's great grandfather, and something clicks where right before he's meant to kill him, the grandfather's locket opens up, and he sees that he has like a daughter, basically, or I guess a great granddaughter. But it's interesting how that kind of like triggered him to let him live for whatever reason. And I thought it was very cool how he basically, for better lack of terms, just let this old man live, kind of bonded with him in a weird sense. But then you see his cousin kind of like find out and come in, and his cousin basically was like, you can't disobey orders. Like, this dude's going to town. And then next thing you see, which I find like wild, is his cousin going to strike, Grog obviously holding him off and just giving him like a 1-2 punch in like the face to like knock him out somewhat. But then, cousin straight up snitches on him.
Yeah.
And I think this is like, I guess you always kind of understood the power of like these gauntlets, but I think this is where you really like just see how much damage they can cause. Cause his uncle comes up and basically just gives him an ultimatum, like kill this dude, or like bring me, I think it was like bring me his head, or
Yeah.
like suffer the consequences. And he basically says no, and it's like effortlessly, like his uncle just destroys him.
Oh
um
yeah.
Grok was able to get like one good hit off,
Yeah,
with
take his eye out.
yeah, which leaves him a fun little like eye. But it's, I think what I found interesting, it's almost, the more he uses the gauntlet, like the little, it lights up, and I'm wondering if the gauntlet just gives him like superhuman strength or something. Because at the start of the episode, when he picked up that NPC and just like crushed their head, it
Mhm.
the gauntlet lit up at that point. I think it lit up right before he crushed it. So I don't know if the gauntlet just gives them extra strength, or what all it does, but it almost feels like, I don't want to say once he's bonded to it, it's like at any point he can be like, I just need to be stronger, and
Yeah.
boom, he becomes stronger. um so you have all this happening, but you also have Scandalin, which we totally bypassed at the start of it, almost wanting to be like the hero,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he's just showing up or showing out for Pike. But he ends up converting into this little, I guess, a dragonfly, and going through the city.
Yeah. He polymorphs into a dragonfly to just fly in.
Yeah, and but he ends up, I guess, obviously going into like this little hole and all this, but he ends up running into, I guess, I don't want to call them like final survivors, but
Oh no! Before that, though, he runs into, or he's able to eavesdrop on some of the other Goliaths, and they're not happy with the situation right now.
yeah,
You actually, apparently, you see him eavesdrop on Kevdak's son, Grog's cousin,
yeah,
and he's not happy that the herd is subservient to these dragons. Also, one thing that they hit on, but they don't necessarily say outright, is that Goliaths by nature are a nomadic people, and what Kevdak has done by striking this deal with the dragons is that he's made them city folk. They've settled in one city, and that they get to rule this city, but they're stationary now. And
oh,
Kevdak's son is like, that's against our ways. Like, he's weak, he's bowing to these dragons, he's made us stay in one place. That's not who we are. And I mean, I don't know. I like, when I watched this campaign, it was a really long time ago, but I can't help but feel like that has to be something that they can hit upon later. Is like this general unrest amongst those who
yeah.
think like Kevdak's son.
See, and I didn't realize that they were nomad, because yeah, then being, I guess, cemetery in one place, like that doesn't, that almost like, I don't want to say kills their fun, but that eliminates their,
He kills their killing for sure.
yeah, like their joy of conquering.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't recognize that.
Like,
Uh,
they even call themselves the herd. Like, herds don't generally stay in one place; they kind of move around to graze or whatever.
yeah,
Like, I imagine the Goliaths a lot like the Dothraki in Game of Thrones, where they just like go from place to place, sack them, or demand some kind of tribute in order to keep them safe, and then they move on.
actually,
But
that
yeah, we see that Scanlan like does that. That he gets surprised by what they're talking about, by the dragons, and so he falls out of the. He loses concentration on the polymorph. They hear him. He like sneaks through like a small hole into what seems to be a storage area, and he finds some people who are hiding, at least for now, from the Goliaths, and they've been safe from the extortion of the Goliaths.
well, I mean, and it almost, the I guess the leader of that group or whatever, it almost looks like the girl version of him, which
Oh
is
yeah.
kind of like
Healy or Kaylee? I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't
It's
yeah,
something like that.
but that was just weird to me. Just seeing it was almost like seeing a mirror image, and I was in a funny haha sense. I was hoping that like an entire team was gonna pop out, but it was the complete opposite of
Oh, just like a crossplay Vox Machina.
yeah. I was expecting that, but that didn't happen. But it's
Oh, that would have been fantastic.
yeah, no, that would have been hilarious to me. But it's just I find, he finds these people and it's almost and she knows who he is, which I thought was, and I don't know if she just said that to like get his favor, or if she said that because she really knows him.
But I mean, Dr. Dranzel, like the true leader of the band, he is the one who actually says, "Oh yeah, no, everyone knows the name Scanlan Shorthalt," and
That's great.
and at one point, like she's like, "We don't want your autograph," and then like it cuts to a wider shot, and you see Dr. Dranzel putting like a pen away,
Which
which
is
is
hilarious.
fantastic.
Yeah. Which yeah. So I mean, yeah. So it makes me wonder what will happen with with this new group, because I think a reoccurring story that keeps happening is and it happened in one of the beginning episodes where Vax basically makes it known, like, we can't just save everybody that
Mhm.
we run into, and yet that's kind of what's happening. Like every time they
Yeah.
run into someone, they're saving them. So I wonder how they will be able to get through this mess, basically, because ooh, excuse me, you have what it was. I mean, there were at least 6 or 7 people there,
Hmm.
and you're gonna have to sneak through this town where you have these, Goliaths who legit just want to kill for fun. But then they actually run into a Goliath, one that they wish was a little bit bigger, which I thought was hilarious. But they run into Grog and Pike, which I think was awesome because on the way when all this was happening, Grog and Pike, they were telling their story, but you see the dragon fly through, and then was she riding the dragon?
Yeah, Anna Ripley was riding
Okay.
Umbrasyl.
I wanted to make sure I got that one right. So she's riding the one thing that I'm still a little confused about, and I don't really understand. So the dragon still has the sword like on his side.
Yeah, he's like wearing it in like a little like
Yeah, but
garter
it's not
belt.
like he can use the sword or anything.
I
Like,
guess, yeah.
yeah, so I'm confused at why he has it other than just to have it. But that one will be interesting.
The only thing that I can think of is that at a certain age, I don't know if it's an adult dragon or an ancient dragon, but I think these are at least adult dragons. But like at a certain age, dragons have the ability to like polymorph into other forms. So
Snap, I didn't know that.
in theory, Umbrasyl could polymorph into a humanoid and wield Mythcarver.
I didn't know
And
that.
that would be a reason why I would think. The only reason I knew that is that I played a D&D module called uh, Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and if you are interested in playing that and you're watching this, you should maybe like just like go la 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 for like 5 seconds. But like, there's a character in Waterdeep Dragon Heist that is like an old man, and it turns out that he is like a super famous gold dragon named Oranax who like lives in like the bowels of Waterdeep.
Okay. So it's almost like season 1 with the commander where he was the dragon.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like season 1. Like, so yeah, so we already know that if the blue dragon was able to turn into that guy, then maybe Umbrasyl could also turn into something that can wield Mythcarver.
That's kind of cool. Okay. I didn't even think about, yeah, because it threw me off because I like when you see this little like
What's he gonna do? Just like pull it out with his teeth and be like,
Yeah.
ah.
It threw me off because I was like, what is he using that for? And then at first I was like, well, maybe Ripley's trying to like trick him into getting these things so that she can yield all of them.
Everything we know about Anna Ripley would also indicate that that is entirely a possibility.
Yeah. So it's that's interesting. But anywho, so when Pike and Grog see this, they basically instantly are like, crap, Scanlan's going to die. And that's why they kind of go into the city. And their plan that they have to go into the city, I thought was hilarious, which is, just butcher up a poor pig, grab some of the blood, pour it all over Pike's face, and poor little Grog, but it is showing that he's getting his strength back because he's able to hold her up.
Yeah.
He didn't have much issues with that. So he holds her up, keeps walking, and gets through the city. But, it's interesting because once they meet up, obviously you have Scandalin and all these people that are trying to exit. You have Pike and Grog who are trying to save Scandalin. And then here's where the episode just leaves me with like, whiplash. Where at this point I'm like, cool, they're gonna escape, everything's gonna be great. And Grog basically is like, nah, I gotta stay behind. Which is insane because
he says there are hundreds of Goliaths in this town.
Yeah. And
he's clearly not at the top of his game, and he still wants to challenge his uncle,
which is mind-boggling. And the only thing I can think of is which I hope ends up happening, which would be hilarious for me. But remember, like in Harry Potter, when they were flying and really like, I think it was like Snake was like shooting down some of the ghosts, or like they were kind of helping him from behind. I almost wonder if that's what's gonna happen, where Grog's gonna challenge him and like, Pike like shooting little things, Scandalin doing some other like.
I would be down for that for at least the first half of that fight. Like, and then I
feel something has to happen because obviously, like, his uncle is huge, like, because like he's just huge compared to all of these other, like, stature wise, he's so much bigger, which is mind boggling.
Because these guys are already like 7, 8 feet tall. So like Kevdak has to be like pushing 10.
So it'll be interesting to see what comes of all of this. But yeah, we're basically left with this cliffhanger where Grog just stays.
He calls out Kevdak at the end of the episode,
which is
like the crowd parts and Grog is just standing there, still skinny. Like I thought, at least maybe the adrenaline from having to take on his uncle would push him through what he needed to, like, I guess, stimulate his muscles.
Yeah,
really, it's going to have to happen in the fight.
Which, like, his uncle took him out when he was like a normal Goliath, like strong Goliath. And it's like you look at him now, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna be like a one-hit kill.
Oh, what would work actually really good storytelling wise actually is he doesn't get his muscles back in this fight, and Vox Machina shows up, and then they beat them together, and then he finds out where his strength really is from.
Oh, to tie back into the dude who just destroyed him.
And that's when he gets his muscles back, when he's like, my strength comes from Vox Machina.
Oh, I got goosies thinking about that. That would be dope.
I will go ahead and say again, this particular part of the arc is nothing like the campaign at this point. So like, I think this is like, because like this didn't happen. This like shrinking of Grog did not happen in the campaign. If it did, it was something that was like outdone by Pike by just like a simple greater restoration spell.
Okay.
Like, because this like hero's journey that he's on now, I do not remember it at all from the campaign.
See, so now this is on you too.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm really excited. Storytelling wise, I would love for that to happen. If like he stays small throughout that fight, and then his real strength comes from his friends.
I can dig that, and I think we can can go ahead and basically guarantee that it's going to be impossible for them to destroy all 4 dragons before the season ends.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
like the rate this is going, there's no way it happens.
Yeah, and if they do, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be disappointed because I'm sure they'll do it in some fancy dancy way, but it would just feel rushed for me if they were to do it. Because but yeah, so this next episode should be dope. And there was really, now that I think about it, there wasn't any. Well, no, because you got the backstory, so you did get some action and like war scenes and stuff like that and fighting. So I'm trying to think. I was like, there really wasn't any like major violence in this episode.
You get to see Kevdak like put stones to both Grog and his own son.
Yeah, that dude's that dude's just ruthless.
Oh, we should also say that like we're starting to see a little bit of a turn on Scanlan. Like, I mean, I guess we started seeing it a little bit like maybe an episode or 2 earlier, but like this idea of like Scanlan like simply being in it for himself, like he only cares about himself and Vox Machina, and like saying like, hey, let's leave this to like real heroes, we're just a bunch of screw ups who got together. Like, but between him being like showing off for Pike and being like, if I did this single-handedly, would you be impressed with me? And also like this new gnome being like, oh, from what I heard, like you running off is about right. Yeah. And like that, you could tell like he felt shame from that, and that he was like, all right, fine, I'm gonna help you guys, So we're starting to see, even if it's a reluctant like turn for Scanlan, we're starting to see it.
Yeah. It's like a little maturity getting into him.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because that means just about every character at this point has gone through some type of
growth.
Yeah, I was gonna say breakthrough, but growth is better. Which is awesome. No, this is definitely going in a cool direction. I do want to see how they're going to end up this season, because I mean there's not that many episodes left, and they got to figure something out. So, and something quick. So this will definitely be good. On the bright side, no one died.
Yeah. Yeah, on the bright side, no one died. Except for that pig.
Yeah, the pig and the poor, like the couple.
Oh, the guy at the beginning too.
Yeah.
And all of the villagers and the thing. So a lot of death, actually.
But no one from the team.
Yeah, no one from the team.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, no, so that's kind of about it. So shoot, any parting thoughts on this one?
No, but I would be interested to see what other people think about how the rest of this, either how the rest of this arc unfolds or how the rest of this season unfolds. Like, leave that in the comments.
Yeah, definitely. No, because I think, you only have 3 episodes left, so it's like you can only fit so much in 3 episodes, and obviously this next episode, realistically, I think is going to be all Grog. Like it for something to end like that. So you're left with hopefully 2 episodes to figure out how to destroy 4 dragons.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting. But yeah, no, definitely drop in the comments what you guys think on that one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button. And yeah, me and Mike will be here next time for episode 10. So until then, I'll say peace.